Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
How are you? How's the expo so far?
The expo is great. It's fantastic. Dubai Watch Week has always been one of the best events for watchmaking. But with the pandemic, everything, the dice have been rolled once again, no?
Yeah.
And it seems that local events, some of them have become regional events, and that they attract everywhere from the world. So they're not so regional anymore.
Yeah.
And it seems that there are a few, 4 or 5 events in the world that are going to consolidate as really the big event of the year or of the 2 years, because it's a biannual event. And there is a certain spirit. We had the chance that we met last time 2 years ago here in Dubai, so it was just in between that the pandemic came in. And everybody is now smiling and cheering up and happy to meet, so that's also very nice.
That's very nice.
With a smooth organization, also it's good.
It's an amazing, yeah.
It can be easy in some contexts to have organizations that are a bit more rigid, and it's nice to be in a much more open,
Relaxed.
easygoing organization.
And this is actually what
Even
we
the
feel.
Dubai customs now are nice.
It's no, well, the whole thing is very well organized. Yeah, I know with watches going in and out. Let's not talk about even the Kuwaiti thing side of it. But Xavier, let's talk about how you became the president of Jabek now, the owner, president. Give us a brief.
I'm one of the 200 owners, co-owners.
Okay.
I'm one of the 3 co-founders. But I was simply unemployed.
Okay. That's a good position to go from unemployed to.
Most of the people, they like to rewrite the story the way they would have liked it to happen. But that probably means that the story itself is not good enough. If the story is good enough, you shouldn't have to rewrite it. You just should tell it, you know.
Sure.
And the fact is that I had the chance to lose my job, because in the end it's a chance, because that is the moment where one door closes and another door opens. You know, and the new door is probably full of challenges, struggles, tears, pain, moments where sleepless night, and moments where you ask yourself if you will come over. But also at the same time, when you do survive, which is the first indicator of success in watchmaking, is survival. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Not easy, yeah.
Then when you survive, then you have the joy.
And we noticed Jabek from a few years ago, because we're really into the watchmaking industry, let's say. But nowadays, if you ask me Jabek 3 years ago, and the last watch week I was here, I didn't really pay much attention to Jabek. Compared to now, we have a bigger place, kind of, in the beginning of the expo. People know your watch.
Yes.
And I want to talk especially about one certain watch that a lot of people are paying attention to, which is the Antarctic. How do you pronounce it? Antarctic.
Yes.
So tell us, when did you announce it?
Yes.
How is the feedback from collectors?
So there is Antarctic, and then the last one that we launched was the Antarctic Rattrapante. You know, the split second one.
Split second, yeah.
So were you asking about the first one, the Antarctic General, or the Rattrapante?
In general, like as a sports model, because we used to, and people know that Jabek is a very classical watch in the beginning. When
That's typically the watch of the beginning. It matches very well my suit, and it's
exactly.
I love it. I
love it.
I know. I agree. The next Jabek is always the nicest one, but at the same time, I do love my past Jabeks, you know.
Yeah.
So with guilloche, handmade with a special guilloche that we own our hands also. It's a very nice.
For reserve. It's a manual wind, right?
Sorry.
Manual
wind. Yeah, manual wind. Really traditional, but made in a very modern way. So watchmakers love to assemble that kind of watch, because it's respectful of a certain number of things, and it's not boring because it's contemporary.
Yeah.
So that's why it's nice.
How does the Antarctic came into play?
So the first Antarctic, the sport model, came from guys who bought that watch and said, look, I love your watch, but frankly, I cannot have a beer with my buddies in a barbecue with a watch like that, you know, and I cannot go to the beach with my kids with a watch like that. And a guy like you, who actually told me when I was at the very beginning and trying to find my way, who told me, you know, it was 6 years ago, it was before really the big surge of the secondary market. He said to me, there are 3 watches that get 90% of the click on my website, which has all the watches of the world. And these 3 watches, everybody know who they are today.
Yeah.
And he said to me, you know, if you want to attract a larger group of watch collector, you do have to look at sport watches. You cannot. So it was like first our customers were asking for it, and then we loved it, and we never said we should not do it.
Yeah.
And Čapek never said that if he had been alive, he wouldn't do pocket watches. When he was alive, he was doing pocket watches. Sport watches, I wanted to say. So Čapek never said he wouldn't do sport watches. When he was alive, he was doing pocket watches because that was the only thing, but he was doing a modern expression of pocket watches. So what is a modern expression of a watch? Well, that's the Antarctic.
Daily one, yeah.
That's a sleek watch with a beautiful case back.
Beautiful movement.
Beautiful movement. So you speak to the heart of the watch lover by showing the back.
Yeah.
And then you speak to everyone about beauty by showing the front.
The front, yes. And now you have, even color-wise, you did a very successful launch with Fartello from the guys.
Yes.
And how many colors now? Because we saw lots of colors, and when I ask you about which one did you launch, which one can we buy, which one, people are already contacting us, timekeepers saying, and contacting the guy in Bahrain you're in talk with, is like, which color to buy? There's a salmon, there's a nice ice blue, there's the one you did.
These are the no-launch launches.
So these are the launch, okay. Are they limited?
So these are
work?
colors that are visible now, and the reason is we like to treat people the way we would like to be treated.
Amazing.
So we decided not to launch these watches, even though they were ready and we had a launch plan, because we had too many watches in the order book.
Yeah.
And that's why they were piling. So our speed of production was not the same level of the speed of taking the orders. Yeah. And we said we need to get to the point where we balance these two. So we are at that point now.
Okay.
And it's not the right moment to launch, but we thought I cannot go to Dubai Watch Week without any novelties. I need to show them.
And I've seen them
and
before.
And then people at the first minute said, "Can I take pictures?" I said, "Okay, you'll take pictures. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just say it's a sneak peek."
Okay.
And then I thought to myself, "Okay, that's a new marketing campaign. It's called the No Launch Launch. So you have a watch, you don't launch it, but everyone can see it, and everyone can eventually pre-order it, not necessarily order it fully." We're going to open the order when we'll do the press release and everything.
And when is that, or how many pieces will you produce? Like, are they limited?
So the ice blue, the glacier blue exactly, will not be limited. There is way too much request to limit it. The salmon should be limited to 100.
Okay.
Okay, still to be confirmed. Okay. The burgundy is limited to 10 because I was stupid.
10?
Sometimes, sometimes you're stupid. You answer too fast, and I'm not. I'm a normal guy. I make mistakes. So it was a request from a nice guy, and he wanted to have a burgundy dial, and
he did 10 for
him. A very close friend of both of us, argued in favor of him, and I said, okay, we'll do him a burgundy. I mean, we're a people company, so basically that's the way to get something from us, and I said yes. We're going to do it, but it cannot be a unique piece because it's a normal color. So we can do a unique piece from a normal color. So it's going to be limited edition. So the guy said, okay, I'm fine. I have the first one. And I'm okay. So what is the size of the limited edition? I said, well, I don't know, 10.
That's a very
and then
low
after
number.
I thought, I'm stupid, why did I say 10? I should have said 20 at least, or 25 or 50.
With the demand now is 50 would be good.
But anyway, so we have new colors, and it's a very interesting thing. I don't know if this is linked to myself or linked to Čapek or linked to both. I was coming from fashion. I really like the idea of playing with colors that you have in a fashion show, and so I implemented a lot of strong color. The green. We were not the inventor of the green. Please, it's another brand with a crown that was with the Milgauss very strong with implementing the green and influenced all of us. So we have to recognize. And give back the laurels to the one who have them, no? But there was this idea of having a lot of color, rhubarb red, rosewood, and we are playing with these colors to the point that we sell less black than anyone else, because people go for our colors. And we continue because we feel life is like that. Life is full of color, life is fun, and the watches, especially because you are selling one of the highest example of haute horlogerie. then you shouldn't be rigid.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be
That's a nice
into
mix.
a system that is requiring too much too straight. You can be playful.
You can playful. And then the evolution of that came the split second, which is sold out
Yes.
now.
The split second is an answer to an equation that we couldn't find the answer. We started working on the project in 2015, and without finding the solution. So we did this pre-work twice with a failure, so with a stop if you want. We took it again, both time with the chronode, and in the third time, because we wanted to do a chrono dial side with all the components dancing in front of you. There is another brand that did that after we started with success. I told them, you know, we will come with something like that. We're working on that. Don't be surprised. It came from one of our shareholders, who's actually a board member. And because we, at the very beginning, to re-establish the brand, we made a small series of 12 chrono that were based on the 7733 Valjoux. It's a very nice manual winding chrono vintage movement of the 70s. And this movement has a lot of depth, and all the lever are moving through so it's very hypnotic, you know, when you play with a start-stop reset of the watch. It's very funny. So we thought what would be great would be to have that dial side, and that was really the idea, with central second, central hour, central minute. So that's the brief, and it didn't work until we included the split second. And it's something that we learn in watchmaking. It's not the first time that it happens. Very often when you are facing a wall and you don't find a solution, the solution is to go above, to do more difficult, more complicated, you know, and you jump over the wall. Okay, so the split second was that element. And for the split second, we reworked with Chronode a way to miniaturize the mechanism of the split second by having the first wheel, which is the second of the chrono. On top of it, you have the heart, that is a relatively big heart. And on top of it, you have the wheel of the split second. And inside this wheel, which is open, there is a lever and a spring. And the whole three elements together, or if you want 5 elements, if you take the spring, the lever, the wheel, the heart, and then the wheel of the chrono, these 5 components, they work simultaneously and separately.
One of the complications,
Yeah, it is a high complication. Even if you make it happen with only 5 components, of course there are the clamps
and everything
that pinches on the side, so that's a 6th component, and the column wheel. Okay, that's going to be a 7th component. But if you want with 7 components, you resolve this problem by having this lever playing with the heart. So the heart has a double function. The heart is the reset of the chronosecond, but also is a repère, I don't know, for the lever to put the split second just below, that comes just below the other one. So it's amazing. It's very interesting to see it playing.
Will we see another edition? Because you saw the first.
We will see
a material
at least two editions.
2 editions.
So one is color and material. You're right, color and material. And the other one is crazy. It's a project. It's a tribute to a writer called Karel Čapek. Okay, Karel Čapek had the same name as François Čapek. We don't know if they were from the same family. They had 100-year nearly difference in age. And so Čapek moved to Poland and changed the spelling of his name to the Polish way to write his name. Okay, so Kingdom of Bohemia, 1811, then Poland, it becomes CZAPK, and Karel Čapek is C with a little V on top of the C to make Čapek. And this Karel Čapek invented a word in 1921 for his book, his theater play, called the Russell Universal Robot. And that's the invention of the word robot. So the word robot, that is now key in science fiction, comes from him, and you can see even in Yverdon, one of his books, where you see the Russell Universal Robot. And that was the idea of the robot working for the human being to help humans to have a better life, you know. So it's really the foundations of science fiction. And we decided to have a split-second chronograph with a robot figure, and there is something moving.
Okay.
I don't say more. It's
What
very
is that?
small, but it's a very fun. It's one of these crazy, stupid ideas
No, that's
where
what we love about
you start the
independent.
process, and then you realize how complex it's going to be to make it happen, and then you feel like,
I have to do it.
why did I do that? Why do I make my life miserable and complicated? But that's what is the salt and pepper of life, you know.
Exactly.
It's to do that.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much. We're very excited to see it, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Time is the most precious thing, and it's lovely to share it.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Bye bye.